Hi, bright souls. Welcome to Walk in Wisdom Wednesday. I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for taking time out of your day. And maybe you're listening to me while you're driving to work, or maybe you are washing dishes or doing something to occupy your time while listening to me. I just want to say thank you. All across the world, thank you. Thank you for choosing me. There's so many choices out there, and you decide to listen to me today. And so I ask that you share this with your friends and your family, and you all just join in making this an event. I really do appreciate you, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. Okay? Well, we are talking about loving yourselves. Loving yourself takes courage. Loving your body and healing the trauma takes courage. I was on social media, a social media platform, I won't say which one, and a friend of mine had posted an animation. I'll set this up for you. On the animation, there was a young boy who was riding a horse. There was a wolf that was walking beside them. And there was like a little tiny bird on the back of the horse. And the young boy, in his little softest voice, asked the question, "What's the bravest thing you ever said?" And the horse responds, "Help." Asking for help isn't giving up. It's refusing to give up. And then they walk along. As survivors, we have learned that asking for help comes with a punishment and signs of weakness. We're taught that we're not supposed to cry even when we're beaten. We're not supposed to tell even when we need help. And we're not supposed to show weakness even though we are tired down to our soul. Help to us is a word of a different language. Hi, bright soul. Are you healing from anxiety, rejection, or trauma? Well, you're in the right place. I'm Beverly. I am a survivor, a wife, and a life coach. I was shaped by God's boot camp. I learned to love myself God's way, and now I want to help you, bright soul, take ownership of your life and walk in your God-given purpose. So go grab your journal and your coffee because we're going on a healing journey together. Are you ready? Here we go. Hey, bright souls. Guess what? The 10-day Rewire Your Mind Challenge is officially live. For the next 10 days, you'll get one simple action a day. There's nothing heavy. It's small, powerful steps that's going to help your mind feel safer, calmer, and more grounded. So you'll practice interrupting old patterns, staying present, building new pathways, and these are all going to be rooted in truth and self-compassion. And you won't be doing it alone because we have a Heal from Parental Absence Facebook group that you can join today. You'll have guidance, community, and support every step of the way. So if you're ready and you want to feel lighter and more connected to yourself, take the first step today. One day, one action, and one shift at a time. Click below for your download. So, bright souls, let's take a walk into this Wisdom Wednesday. You know, wisdom isn't easy sometimes. The definition of wisdom, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is the ability to discern inner qualities in relationship, which is insight, good sense, which is judgment. Sometimes people don't have a lot of that, but that's what it is. And generally accepted beliefs and accumulated philosophies or scientific learnings, which is knowledge. There is a lot of wisdom out there in the world, but sometimes wisdom is not easily received. Why? Because we often don't believe that the words of the wise that's imparting wisdom to us is meant for us. I have come across not just myself, but other survivors who think that our past is so loud and so complicated and so bad that it is unfixable, and that the wisest of them all could not fix what we've been through or give us advice on how to propel forward. And that's not true. You see, bright souls, is not about fixing the past, because the past has happened, right? That's part of rewiring our brain, and that's the acceptance part. It happened. It's about getting the help that we need so that we can have a better future. When you take the steps to rewire your mind and give it a chance to think differently, then you're giving your body permission to act differently. I know I talked about that on Monday. Our body wants to reject what it will not accept. That's rejection. I just wanted to say something that was rhyming, but it does. It wants to reject the new acceptance, the new thought of we're going to do something different. So we have to train it. So today, I just want to impart just a little bit of wisdom to you. It's not a lot, because I'm telling you, there's a whole list. We'll probably be here for days talking about all the things that we can change. And it's just really simple. We start with the simple things. Like they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So let's do that. Let's just take this one bite at a time. And I have lots of episodes to go, and I'm sure we will tackle all of it if we can. Okay, if the Lord is willing, we're going to tackle all of it. So let's get into it. Some wisdom on how we can help our bodies get aligned with our mind. First thing, you guys, I want you to do the most practical thing. I want you to listen clearly. I want you to accept this. You better not reject it. I need you to make a doctor's appointment. I heard it. I just saw it. I envisioned like all of these people, and they're shaking their heads and tilting their heads. And I'm like, nope, I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't need to. I'm not sick. I see it. But I need for you to listen to me. Just listen. Okay. That's the first part. I need for you to listen. Many of us are afraid to make a doctor's appointment because we have predicted outcomes. When you go to the doctor, it hasn't been a good experience. Why? Because we've gone when we were sick. We've gone because something has happened. And what does the doctor always start off with? Oh, let me take your blood pressure. Let me take your weight. And then they come back. Your blood pressure is a little high. Well, you think I'm in the doctor's office. I don't want to be here. I'm afraid of what you're going to tell me. Oh, well, you need to lose a little weight. Not today. We have all of these things that we've experienced, but typically we go to the doctor when we need them. How about going to the doctor when you don't need them? When you make a doctor's appointment when you don't need them, you're making it on your own terms. It's not because something is wrong. It's because I want to take control of my life. I'll make that doctor's appointment and get a checkup. So when you go to the doctor's appointment, you're like, okay, I'm going to entertain that thought right here. Okay. If I go, then what am I going for? Well, here's the thing. When you go, I like to go and make a list, because sometimes I get a little nervous when I'm in the doctor's office. It's kind of intimidating, right? Especially when you're going and there's nothing wrong. So you go and you tell the doctor, or when you make your appointment, because nowadays they want to know why. I want to make sure everything is okay with me. They'll have you go through the process. You might not even see a doctor per se. You might see a nurse practitioner, a certified nurse practitioner, someone that can be able to give you that feedback on what is needed. When you walk into the doctor's office, you let them know, I am trying to take charge of my life. I want to be proactive before anything happens. Most doctors, nurses, they appreciate that. Now, I don't know how it is nowadays because, everyone is so overwhelmed, but they like when they have an easy day, when it's, oh wow, somebody is actually taking the steps to check on their health and not waiting until the last minute and we have to figure out 10,000 ways to make this person better. So, to add to your list of things to ask them, what are my vitamin levels? Especially my vitamin D. My physician checks my vitamin D levels all the time. Vitamin D helps with bone health, immune support, muscle function, chronic disease prevention. Like adequate levels of vitamin D may be a preventative to some risk, such as heart disease and cancer. So have your vitamin D level checked. Another thing too, many of us experience anxiety, fatigue. We don't get enough vitamin D from the sun. We're not outside enough, and especially during the winter months. So a lot of times people will experience the wintertime blues and depression and things like that. But you know what it is actually? The vitamin D is low. It helps to regulate your mood. There are some studies that suggest that vitamin D may help improve your mood and reduce the risk of depression. So have them check that. And, they'll ask you, are there any type of concerns when it comes to, your vitamin levels? Just say, yeah, vitamin D, especially because I just want to make sure that I'm getting enough. If not, I want to make sure I'm getting the supplements that I need. I want it to help my immune system. I want it to help my mood. These are the things that I've learned about. And then they'll check things like your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your thyroid, your A1C or your blood sugar. They'll check to see for all of these things to make sure it's regulating properly. You know what this does for you? You are taking control. So for my overachievers and the ones that like to be in control all the time, here is an opportunity to be proactive and take control. Guess for who? Yourself. Not for anybody else. You get to be in charge of you. Can you believe that? You get to be in charge of you, and this is how you can do it. And then you can learn about what's going on with your body. Is everything okay? Do I need to be concerned? Do I need to set up a plan? And then you celebrate the things that you're doing right, and then you make a plan for the things that need to be corrected. Because everything can be corrected, especially if you catch it in an early stage. Let me ask you a question. When you're driving out on the road, are you keeping an eye on the rearview mirror, or are you keeping your eyes on the windshield in front of you? If you keep your eyes on the rearview mirror, guess what happens? Sooner or later, you eventually crash. Yes, we do check the rearview mirror from time to time. If you're constantly replaying your past, if you're constantly looking at what happened and not planning for the future and looking at your now, eventually you're going to crash. So you want to continue to look ahead. You want to continue to focus on getting to your destination. And when you're focusing and you're in the car, if you're in the car driving, I don't know about you, but when I'm driving, I am looking ahead and my body is so engaged and focused on getting to my destination that I very rarely look behind me. I only look behind me to make sure that I'm safe and that I observe my surroundings. Other than that, I don't have a reason to keep looking back because my destination is ahead. See, Bryce, so you're on a mission. You're on a mission to a better you and taking ownership of your life. And in order to do that, you have to align your mind with your body and your body with your mind. You guys, you have to be on the same page. And once you get the results of your plan of action together and you start getting your body aligned with your mind and you start renewing your mind for awareness, which is part of the 10-day challenge, you're then able to flex your muscles. You're then able to stretch your hamstring. You're then able to tighten your core. And what this does is help makes you stronger for the future. This is not the opportunity to judge yourself. It's an opportunity to help yourself. So do that for yourself. Take control. Put your body in submission. And let's move on to number 2. Number 2, I love number 2 because let me tell you, when I learned about this, it set freedom in every pore, every cell of my body. And that is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is like giving life to the dead. When you start setting boundaries, honey, you're like, can't nobody tell me nothing now, because now you're really walking in control. When you start off, it's a little bit shaky. You're a little, it's a little foreign to you. You don't know and you're unsure and you get all emotional and you second guess and you might even lose a few nights of sleep. But once you start accepting it and you start walking in it, let me tell you. So, when I learned the power of no, number 1, under boundaries, learning the power of no, or let me think about it, it freed me from making a decision on the spot. And it allowed me to work through my emotions. Because sometimes people will come to you with something and you're like, you're either sold or you're like, I don't know why they're coming to me for that. I'm going to say no. But you can put a pause on that. You can put a pause on that feeling and then go back and actually reevaluate. Is this a problem that needs to work its own self out? Or is this something that I need to address immediately? Do I have the capacity for this? Is this something that I am willing to do? You can work out all of these questions without making an immediate answer. Yes, I'll do it, and then regret it later. Learning the power of no makes the other person's priority not your problem. Say it with me. No. It reminds me of that Bugs Bunny cartoon just now. It just popped in my head when he was like, no. Learn the power of no. Or let me think about it. Setting boundaries also gives signals to others on how to treat you. Have you ever been in a restaurant? I'm sure many of us have. And a waiter comes up to you and they ask you what you want to order. Now, how many of you out there have said, you know what? I'm not even going to look at the menu. I want you to pick it. And then whatever you pick, I'll eat it. Yes, you said that. Says no one ever. No, you have never said that. You have never let someone pick something for you. Now, they may have suggested it or a recommendation, but we typically don't let other people make choices in our lives and we just go along with it. So why would you let others tell you how you should be? No, you get to set the rules. Examples of boundaries. These are some boundaries that I've had to set. When my husband gets home, he has my full attention, whether he wants it or not. Whether it's not about whether he wants it, I'm fully there available to him. And that means I'm not, on the phone. I'm not texting. I'm not, giving my time to someone else unless it's emergency or, a rare moment when you haven't talked to someone in a long time and you can say, I'm on the phone talking to so-and-so. I haven't talked to him a long time. And then that can be excused. But when you're constantly doing that, that's a no-no. That's my boundary. I don't know about you, but that's my boundary. I also like to make timelines for my projects. So if I'm unable to meet a certain project, I have a discussion. I try to find out what needs to be done, how I can do it, and who can help me along the way. That teaches people that you're not a one-man show, that you're going to require some resources, right? And that also gives you permission to say, I need help. I also structure my day and block off time on my calendar to catch up on work or pass due projects or planning things that are coming up. The last job that I was in, I would do that often because everything was paper. So I would block off time on Fridays to make sure that my next week, I'm set up for success. I don't need anybody coming to my office. I don't want anybody asking me to do anything. Let me go ahead and structure how my week is going to go so that I can be in control and not be behind. Now, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't, but you're in control and you're setting the boundaries. And not only that, when you're able to see your schedule, you can tell other people what's on your schedule and they can get in where they fit in, as they say. And then also another boundary I have is how people talk to me. So I am a very patient person. Part of the God's boot camp over the 20 years is patience. I have learned patience to no end. And I sometimes accept how people talk to me because I understand that they're not talking to me. They're talking at me because of their frustration. But I can stop it. The yelling, the foul language, the berating me. I can say, I will not accept this. This is something that I'm not going to accept in my life because I value who I am. And now at this point where I have to stop you, I need you to value me. So making sure people talk with me respectfully, because remember, you want to treat people how you would treat them, right? Love your neighbor as yourself. So if I love myself, guess what? I'm not going to allow people to put me in a position where I'm disrespected because I would not disrespect my neighbor. And then finally, under boundaries, how about the people we hang around? Are they good influences or are they bad influences? Do they bring life or destruction? Are they gossipers? Are they constantly coming to you with bad news and their problems and transferring it over to you, and you can't get a word in edgewise, and they don't know anything about what's going on in their world, in your world? They just care about themselves and getting all of what they're going through off of you. The Bible, let me tell you something, my bright soul. The Bible insists that you create boundaries. Let me show you. Let me show you because I think you don't believe me. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33 and 34. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Come back to your senses. It said, come back to your senses as you ought, and stop sinning. For there are some who are ignorant of God. I say this to your shame. Because sometimes we don't recognize it. Sometimes we're in that mode of accepting people's behavior. Oh, they're working. Oh, well, you let them work on it over there. They don't have to work on it in my presence. I don't have to accept it because you know what? I created boundaries. Now, if that doesn't help you, here is Proverbs 22, chapter 22, verse 24 through 25. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not associate with one easily angered, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared. You'll get yourself tangled up. If bad company corrupts good character, then don't you think somebody that has a bad attitude easily goes off easily, always yip-yapping and just can't control themselves and has no self-control? Don't you think that's going to rub off on you too? I'm going to confess here, you guys. I'm going to confess something. I loved the Real Housewives of everything. Whether it was Atlanta, Potomac, Married to Medicine, all of those shows, I love them. But you know what they create? Chaos, gossip, hot-tempered, angry. When I started watching those shows, at the end of it, I was all hyped up in anger, and I could feel it. I could just feel my whole spirit and body and my attitude and my mind change. And once I started really walking in the word and breaking it down and applying it to my life, I know I heard the Holy Spirit say, you have to stop watching these shows because you're becoming them. So either you become like Christ or you become like the world. You have a choice. And I stopped watching them. It took a while. I mean, when you have a stronghold, it takes a while. None of this is easy. None of this. Some people can stop smoking cold turkey, but they'll tell you they'll have cravings every once and again. Know your boundaries. Boundaries on what you consume and how much of it. I just talked about that. Social media. Have boundaries for social media. It is just all over the place. Some can be useful and some can be awful. If you're constantly consuming those negative things, then it's going to be part of you. You're going to become part of that. And then guess what? Your spirit's going to be down. Your body's going to be down. Your mind is going to be down. And that's just work. Work you have to redo in order to lift yourself back up again. I'm not saying don't get on social media. Some people do social media fast. I heard someone say, I did not get on social media for 1 year. You don't have to do that. But if you need to, if that is your vice, then do it. Otherwise, just put some time limits. And look at it like this. Many of us are trying to achieve Christ-like nature, right? We're trying to be pleasing in the eyes of God. So we can't be pleasing in the eyes of God if we're not filling ourselves up with God. If you're not in prayer, if you're not in worship, if you're not filling yourself up with the word of God, whether you're listening to it or reading it, then you're making something else your idol. Let's do more of God and put boundaries on those other things. Now, number 3, I'm going to say this, and I promise you I'm not trying to be mean. Bright souls, get a life. Get a life. Many of you do the same thing over and over again. You get up, you go to work, you come home, you eat your dinner, you watch a little TV, and you go to bed. You do that Monday through Friday. Maybe on Saturday, you'll go run some errands. Sunday, you may go to church, may not. You're lounging around. You don't have a life. get a life. Let me ask you, I'm going to ask you something that no one has ever considered asking you before. What is it you like to do? What is it you like to do? I remember, I think this was probably about 4 or 5 months ago. I had asked my husband this question. Now, my husband has been on the Beverly venture since we met. And the Beverly venture is exciting. I plan for so many things. We have been on the river. We have been on the ocean. We've been on top of mountains. We've been in the air flying. I mean to tell you, we have done a lot of things because I like to do. I like to be adventurous. I like to explore. I like to go to different places. But it's sometimes all about me. And one day I decided, you know what? I'm always making these plans for us, but he never has any input on it. And I said, husband, what is it that you like to do? He had to stop and think about it. Then he had to use my line. Let me get back at you. Let me think about that. I'm going to have to take a couple of days to think about that. And then I followed up with them. What is it you like to do? And he still really couldn't tell me what it was that he liked to do because no one has ever asked him. So, bright souls, as survivors, we have been on everybody else's journey. We've been on our parents trying to find themselves, been in the crossfire of all kinds of abuse. We've been demeaned out of our own name. We have never been given the chance or the opportunity to discover what we like. Not what someone else forced on you. So I ask you again, bright soul, what is it that you like to do? What is it that you've always wanted to try, but you were so scared to try it? I'm asking you to get your mind and your body aligned and do it. Last year, I went through a health scare. And during that time, I was off from work and I was on medical leave. And I'm the kind of person I don't like sitting around because if I'm sitting around, it means that I'm not doing anything. That's another trauma response, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I wanted to do something that I felt was going to be productive, but also something that I wanted to do, something that could possibly be relaxing. So I started gardening. Can I tell you something? That was probably the best thing I could have done. My husband was sold on it. We started seeds in the garage and they start to grow. We wound up having like 20 something tomato plants, had to give half of it away. I bought some grow bags and some dirt and built a vegetable garden in the back. And then in the front, I made that look nice. And it made me feel so good. It put me in a different world where my mind could relax. My body could relax. I wasn't thinking about anything else but how all of this just grows. It just blows my mind. It was a moment of getting to know God. And I can't wait until this year. We're getting ready to get started again. And I can't wait. And I found out that I really loved it. I've always wanted to try it, but I would always talk myself out of it. And then I tried it. And I love it. Now, I'm not telling you guys to start a garden. But I'm telling you, whatever that one thing is that you say, I've always wanted to try that. Do it. Do it. I want your mind and your body to be in alignment. I want you to be in a place that feels so free and it gives you permission to take ownership of your life. And that starts one decision and one choice at a time. So, get a checkup. You don't have to do that when you're sick. Get a checkup when you're feeling okay because you want to take ownership of your life. Set boundaries because you're taking ownership of your life. Get a life because you're taking ownership of your life. Well, bright souls, that's my time. This just brought me just to life talking about this because I am just so ready to do my planning, do my gardening. I remember how it felt just being in God's presence. Because when I feel like I'm really doing something for my body that makes it healthy, I feel like I'm pleasing God. I just want to be in that place where me and God, we're in connection with each other. And I definitely want that for you guys. I so want that for you guys. So let's do our breathing. And so at this point, I want you to breathe in. I want freedom. Hold it right there for a moment. I want freedom. Then let's breathe out. God gives life. Let's breathe in. I'll take care of my body. And let's breathe out because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. All right, that's my time, bright souls. We will meet again, and I want you to tell me in the community, go to the Facebook community and tell me what it is you like to do. What do you like to do? Tell me. I want to hear from you. Sign up today, and don't forget to do your 10-day Rewire Your Mind challenge. I want to see those results. I want to see you guys looking good. Take some pictures, post it on Facebook in our community. It is a safe place, and I look forward to hearing from you. God bless. Hey, bright souls. I know today's episode was a deep one, and I truly hope it blessed your soul. If it did, please take a moment to leave a review. It helps the algorithm. It helps to reach more bright souls like you who really need it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to everything. And if you want to share your thoughts or ask any questions, you can always email me at 9crownsofgrace@gmail.com. Before you go, don't forget to grab your Bright Soul Journal to support your healing journey. Until next time, let your soul breathe.